Greenville, Texas. And thank you for letting me share or whatever. And then you share how AFR has impacted your life. Obviously, it's the Lord Jesus Christ that's had the ultimate impact on your life, but how has he used AFR to as a vehicle for reaching you for the Lord? That's what we're asking you to do. So a minute or two, short story. We'd love to hear from you across the country so that we can play those. Again, you don't have to give your last name. You can if you want to, but all you do is say your first name and what town you live in or what station you listen to. So if you got a story like that, we'd love to have that and play that. Here's the phone number to leave your recording: 877-876-8893. 877-876-8893 is the phone number. Hey, we got some great news. Talk about that, Steve.
Well, I'm just reading this. You know Pixar? Pixar is the animation studio that brought you hits like Elio, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you know, maybe someone with younger children, Wesley, in here might know. But were they Frozen? Was that a Pixar?
I'm not sure if it was. Is Pixar? Is that not also Disney? That one of the same?
Yeah, tuck that
that's
in.
Right.
Pixar and Disney are the same company, right?
Well, I think they bought Pixar. Pixar was originally an independent film studio, and Disney bought them. So they are a subsidiary of Walt Disney.
But are they responsible for Frozen? Pixar, I'm talking about.
I think so.
I'm going to look that up. I think that's a Disney. I think that's a Disney film. It was produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios. So you're going to get animated films by Disney and the subsidiary Pixar, because Pixar is kind of unique and people like their animation. So Frozen was produced by Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Are you ready to let it go? Can we move on?
I am ready to let it go.
Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles.
That's Pixar?
These are all Pixar. All the Toy Stories. So yeah, these are all Pixar.
Those are Disney. So,
well, Disney bought
you already told us that. Yeah.
And so that just like they bought the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
And
they bought it after it was
Marvel.
Successful.
Yeah.
Well, the news.
You had a good point.
The news
a
about
good point. I'm sorry. We're talking over each other here, and I try not to do that. If you noticed, what were you going to say, Wesley?
I was going to say that I think that Steve has a point to this story that we need to let him get to.
Well, I was just going to say there is news regarding Pixar, and that is that they have decided to scale back on the LGBTQ content.
Good.
This is their chief creative officer. His name is Peter Docter, D-O-C-T-E-R. And this is what he said about a movie, Elio, which they kind of de-gayed. They took the gay out of this character.
They de-gayed?
That's what they did. He says he didn't want to force parents to have conversations they weren't ready for. He said, we're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. And I think
You're ready to be canceled.
Well, a couple paragraphs down, I think, is where they buried the lead. Elio opened to record low numbers for Pixar, debuting at $20.8 million domestically and $14 million overseas. At the time, it was the first original film following Elemental, which was its previous low.
That was a Marvel movie, right? Is it? Or
Elemental? Elemental was it's another animated film.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so what we got here, the point is, you have this guy's, he's at the very top, right?
Yeah, creative director. As time goes on, he says, I realize my job is to make sure that films appeal to everybody.
Okay, so you got this guy, and he's saying, listen, these LGBT, shoehorning these LGBT characters and storylines into children's animated movies is a disaster. And we're not here for financial disasters. We're here to make money and to entertain people, and so we're not doing this anymore. That's what he's saying right there. And also, you have these woke movies, especially kids movies. They're bombing. Okay, you got that Snow White movie that came out last year wasn't again a Disney remake. I'm like, at some point I'm going like, can we not come up with some original stories here?
Well, they did live action versions of
I know,
almost
but
all the
still the
animated
same.
movies.
Yeah, but it was a disaster. You had this actress playing Snow White that was not white.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
And she despised the original Snow White.
Right.
She didn't think that the prince should kiss her, and
Snow White.
Yeah, she also was very political against Israel.
yeah.
So, and was very outspoken. And I'm going like, if you're a movie studio, you tell your actors and actresses, listen, you keep your mouth shut about politics while we're doing the show and the movie's out. You want to come back a year later and whatever, but we're trying to get people to come to the movie.
All people. We want all people to come.
Right. Like Michael Jordan used to say, they said, well, aren't you going to criticize
President
Bush?
Yeah.
He said, no, that's not my job. My job is to, Republicans buy tennis shoes too.
Right. Sell tennis shoes.
So it's the Nike Air Jordan brand. Here you have a situation where this fella, I don't know how much criticism he'll take, but he's saying that we're not going to push the LGBTQ agenda in our movies, our animated movies for kids. That's not why we're here. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
So good for him.
Well, and look, here's by the way, it was Eternals was the Marvel movie I was thinking about, rather than the, what did you
Elemental.
Elemental. So I got those confused, which I do more and more the older I get.
That's okay. You got the Eternals, the the Evolutionists, and what?
No, the Eternals and Elementals was the animated kids show.
And the elephants.
And elephants.
They're in kids shows.
Elephants are.
Okay, go ahead.
But that's Dumbo.
You were going to say.
You guys done? You guys?
Yeah, we apologize.
Whatever it is that was.
We apologize.
Okay. All I was going to add to this is that I think the reason even Elio bombed was because people had begun tuning out to anything produced by Pixar. They just began, because this happened to the Marvel universe and it happened to the Star Wars universe, because I read comments. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but I read comments on these movies to kind of gauge where viewers and fans are. And the same thing with the Marvel movies. I know, Tim, this is going to be
right down my alley.
to you, but after Avengers Endgame, their movies, Marvel movies, began to tank because they started going woke, and people don't see superhero movies for that reason. They don't want to be lectured, and they don't want to be told they're wrong, or they're this or they're that, and they started ignoring the brand. And that, I think, is what Pete Docter with Pixar, the creative chief, is trying to recapture. He wants people, especially parents, who fork over the money to take kids to the movie, to stream the movies, to buy the merchandise, to trust Pixar again, not to preach at their kids, especially with these controversial issues. Listen, this story, I'm looking at a story from The Guardian. There's a half dozen movies where they knowingly put LGBTQ themes and characters into their movies, and parents just started bowing out. And they may never get these people back. Star Wars may be a damaged franchise forever because of what Disney has done to it.
Well, especially for your animated movies that are designed for, say, under 10 or under 12-year-old children. And Star Wars may be a little bit older demographic, that's their target audience, a little bit more mature. But you deal with children, even liberal parents don't, like this fella said, this Pixar, and he's not a conservative, I doubt he is, but this Pixar...
he's a capitalist.
Yeah, but even he is saying, he said parents don't want to have, parents of children don't want to have to have conversations about sexuality when they leave the movie theater.
Right.
And so we're not putting that in there anymore. That's what he's saying, basically. And good for him, and that's an economic reality.
Yeah. I just want to toss one other thing, and then if Wesley wants to jump in here, we'll let him.
Okay.
But back when I used to do a lot more media, I'm talking about back in the early 2000s, and I would debate with homosexual activists on this talk show or that talk show. And here here was my mic drop moment where I could always expose their hypocrisy. Okay, when I would complain about shows with LGBTQ themes, they would say, listen, parents are the ones who should determine what they tell their kids. We're just bringing up the conversation so parents can have those conversations with their kids. And I would always say, so you'd be fine, we're talking about Disney, you'd be fine with a Disney show preaching Christianity to little kids so that parents can have that conversation with their kids, right? You think that's okay? And they would always say, no, of course not. And I said, well, guess what? Parents don't want Disney forcing a conversation about homosexuality either.
Right.
And they had no response because everyone knew what they were doing. They were evangelizing children.
Right, that's right.
And circumventing the parents.
That's right. Wesley, go ahead.
Amen.
Amen, Brother Andy.
Amen. I hadn't been on the show in a couple of days, 2 days.
I'm raring to go.
Hey, another point that I wanted to remind us of or emphasize on this topic is, and that's that you go back 10 or 15 years ago, there was really no sight that, for the most part, the church at that point had been hijacked on this issue. They were very empathetic, soft on this issue from a cultural standpoint, meaning especially policy related standpoint, and there was no sight at the end of the tunnel on this issue. In fact, this one, wokeism, there's a handful of cultural issues that have taken such a hard turn. They were gradually shifting away in the last few years, but when President Trump got reelected for the second time in 2024, we have had such, from a policy standpoint, 180s on a lot of far left issues, to the point where his election also is now impacting companies to make better choices. And so I just think it's important for us to take a moment just to say that this is a good thing, when there was a period in our history where you couldn't.
We were losing.
We were losing.
We're losing every day.
Losing every day, and every day was bad news because it was one more kid being drugged to a drag queen story hour with no hope. So the 180 that we're seeing here I don't think it gets the and all that goes on. We got to remember Galatians 6, where we don't grow weary in doing good, because in due time you'll reap if you don't give up. And we're seeing a lot more victories and wins than I think we realize until we get another Democrat in office.
Also, I think these LGBTQ activists and these secular progressives, they went too far too fast.
That's exactly right.
And the general public rejected that. And that's
right.
what we're seeing reflected. The general public is against boys playing women's sports just because you call yourself a girl. So that's a big loser issue for the Democrats. I don't know if they're going to fight for that. They're going to continue.
They will
fight for that. But I'm saying issues like that, people go, no, that's going too far. That's going too far. You're listening to today's issues, otherwise called Ed Unleashed. Here on American Family Radio, we keep Ed off the air for 3 or 4 days, and then we just bring him on and give him a couple of Diet Cokes and let him go.
Well, I will say this: my wife is making a big crock pot full of marinara sauce.
What I'm talking about.
So
what time are we gonna be over?
No, I'm not sharing it with anybody. I'm not even letting my wife have any. So I'm pretty psyched today. I'm gonna be in a good mood all day.
You said marinara.
It's a big marinara sauce to put on the spaghetti, I guess.
Well, I'm a rigatoni guy.
Sure.
Yeah,
I will eat spaghetti.
This is homemade too, right?
It's homemade.
You would not do
This is not jarred. This is not jarred sauce.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, you're listening to today's issues on American Family Radio. Steve, what is your next story?
You may think
I may think
that we went to war with Iran because they are a malevolent force in the world, and that they've been sponsoring terror around the world, that they are threatening nuclear disaster, that there's 100 reasons why you may think that we went to war with Iran, but you would be wrong.
According to...
Because, well, obviously, Ed, we went to war with Iran. President Trump wanted to distract us from the Guthrie case, apparently, according to Whoopi Goldberg, cut 17.
You're right. Every day is something new. And it's, I was thinking about it yesterday because I thought, well, okay, why haven't we been talking about Savannah Guthrie and what's going on there? Why have we not been talking about the Epstein files? Because that's still there. This is meant to get us so worked up that we are unable to see anything else.
It's a very wacky feeling. Very wacky feeling.
Yeah.
So the worst part about that is the part where she said, "I've been thinking," because that means that she was actually.
Hey, listen. How do I say this?
Be careful.
Those people in the view are idiots.
There is one conservative on there, I think. No?
In name only.
Yeah.
Joseph Farah's daughter, what's her name? She's out.
That's
right
part
now.
of the show.
Listen, I'm talking about, can we just being objective, just stand back and listen to what they say. I can't believe they have any viewers at all, because this is idiocy. You may say I'm against the war, but to say President Trump went to war with Iran because Savannah Guthrie's out of the news? I mean,
To
cover up for the Savannah Guthrie what? What is
Nancy Guthrie. And the Epstein.
to get and Epstein? What is Epstein? What are you saying there? I mean, you helping out Bill Clinton there?
Yeah, sure.
You take Epstein's story off the news, am I right?
You're right on that.
Well, listen, I do want to disappoint you, though, here. I do want to disappoint
That was
you.
Whoopi Goldberg, right?
That was.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
It was.
And so I typed in the viewership of The View.
Yeah, tell me.
So The View had a strong performance in early 2026, its viewership reaching notable highs
Oh yeah.
for the week. This is in December. The show averaged
Still a number.
2.6 million total viewers, marking a multi-month high. This performance placed The View at rank number 7 among daytime broadcast shows, with strong gains.
There's no hope for America.
Well,
Not at all.
I mean,
if that's the case,
to flip-flop and encourage you,
yeah, encourage me.
it's not even 3 million viewers
That's true.
in a country of 330
That's
million.
true. That's true.
So it's relative. These numbers are
It's
relative.
much higher than CNN, I'm guessing.
It's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. They get a lot of attention because they're all liberals, and
they're provocative.
and they're deep thinkers. Too, and that's why you get an intellectual breakdown like what Whoopi Goldberg
That
just
was
shared right there.
that was Bozoville
I have just
Those
figured out where Tucker Carlson's getting his material.
from The View.
From The View. No doubt.
Don't make me sad.
That makes me sad.
What's happened to Tucker? I don't know. Anyway, all right. You're listening to today's issues. That's the only clip from the viewer. That was
That's it. No
Oh,
more.
that was so bad.
That
So
was
pathetic.
terrible.
She thinks Whoopi Goldberg, and then that Joy Bear.
They are.
Behar, yeah.
Yeah, I renamed her. No, she's a bear.
Goldberg and Bear.
I'm thinking
no,
of the paint
Behar.
company.
Not Behar. My apologies. That's her name. She said, "Yeah, we're getting a little wag the dog here."
Yeah, wagged off the tail.
She broke out with her Brooklyn accent there, which is authentic, by the way. I think, or New York. So wag the dog. So there, and then the audience starts clapping. Yeah, Trump's doing this to get Nancy Guthrie's story off the front page.
Now, to get those folks to clap, all you're going to do is say Trump.
But is she saying that? She seems to be saying that President Trump had something to do with
the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
I mean, am I correct?
The Epstein file thing, I think you can at least make the argument that the left is making is that Trump's trying to cover up the fact that he's implicated
in the
Epstein files. At least I can understand them making that argument.
Yeah.
But
hey, listen.
But the Nancy Guthrie thing is absurd.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Guy.
And they're clapping like seals. So, clapping seals. Let me just say this about what was it? It was I forgot what I was going to say exactly, but
it was good.
Yeah, it was good. Maybe I'll remember before the show's over. Go ahead, Steve.
All right. I want to give our condolences out to the family of Lonnie D. Wayman, who was laid to rest Tuesday in Tennessee, but he didn't have any family. Lonnie Wayman was a veteran. He was about 73 years old when he died. He passed of natural causes. But he was a veteran and didn't have any family. So the Department of Veterans Affairs in Tennessee said, here's where the funeral's going to be. We'd like to get some kind people out if they want to. Hundreds of people showed up to Lonnie Wayman's funeral. More than 200 were in attendance after the Tennessee Department of Veterans Services posted about his circumstances. So good for you.
So he had no family. So maybe a few friends might have showed up, but this was a spontaneous outpouring after the Veterans Affairs Office for Tennessee asked for people to show up. So these folks came out because he's just a veteran. That's it.
Gallatin, Tennessee, and just because I think they're showing their respect not only for this man but for our military.
The Gallant people of Gallatin.
There you go. Gallant.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Goofus, remember the children's, there's a children's magazine that